Hi, Moses again here, and this is Website Vanilla. Today I'm going to teach you how to use the terminal or the command line. How do you put commands into your computer system without using your mouse? So join me. I'm using a Mac. So using a Mac, there is this app called the terminal. I have this open here, but the way to open it, you can just hit command space and say terminal, and then you open it, or you can just go to the launchpad here, and let me go to other and then open the terminal. That's another way to open it. I have the terminal here. Now, if you're using Windows, please use PowerShell. PowerShell will allow you to use the same command as I'm using right now, and they will work just the same without changing anything. Now, if you use Linux, I assume you are an advanced computer user, just use the terminal that comes with Linux. All right, so basically the terminal, or using the command line, you are instructing your computer using only your keyboard without using your mouse. And is essentially the same thing. If somebody is using the mouse and you're using the keyboard to instruct the computer, is essentially the same, but you're just using different ways. And to show you how the same they are, on the right I'll be using my mouse, and then on the left I'll be using the command line, just the commands. So let's start with our very first command. So as of right now, let me increase the size of this terminal window so that you can see it clearly. And again, if you use Windows computer, please open the PowerShell app. It comes with your Windows operating system. All right. The basic concept when you're working with the terminal is that you are always inside a folder. Just like when you log in your computer the first time you're inside, you see your desktop, the same applies to when you're working in a terminal. You are always inside a specific folder. So right now, you might not know which folder you are. Let's start using the terminal using our very first command. How do you know where you are, which folder you are in? We're going to use the command called pwd, and that stands for print working directory. Directory the same as folder. So show me the current working folder, pwd, print working directory. If I hit enter, it tells me I'm inside users, I'm inside studio. All right, so let me show you how you can see this using the graphical user interface. So I'm just gonna go open Finder, and then I'm gonna go to view my computer here. So this is my Macintosh HD. If I open this, and inside users, I will see this is studio here. I open users, and you see studio is right there. So I open this again, so I'm inside studio. Studio is there. I can show you the second command. If I open studio, you see all these folders that show there. I can see the same folders using the command line. How do I see those folders? All I need to do is typing this command called ls. And ls, what it stands for, just says list the content of the current working directory. Enter, it shows me application, desktop, documents, library, the same as this ones you see on the right. So if somebody using a mouse, they see this, but if you just use this command lc, you see those. All right, so that is our second command, ls, to list the content of the current working directory. Now the third command, which is actually a very common use command, is to change directory. What if you want to move now to a different directory? So right now, for example, it has listed this application, desktop, documents, and on the right here using my mouse, if I open, I see all of this. So let's say I want to go to the desktop. Using a mouse, I can just open like this, right? Now, how can I do that using a command line? All you need to do is type cd, and that stands for change directory. It means changing the folder. So I can just type cd, and then I start typing desktop. After that, I say enter. I'll be on the desktop. Right now, I'm in the desktop. Just right here, I just open my desktop, you see? Now, inside the desktop, there is a folder called Website Vanilla. How can I know that file here called what? I can just type again, lc, list the content. You see? It shows me the same Website Vanilla. Again, if I hit pwd print working directory, it shows me which folder am I. So right now I'm inside the folder called desktop. Alright, that was our second command called cd. Now what if I want to go back? So for example here, I'm inside the desktop here. If I want to go back, how do I go back? It's just using a mouse, I can just go back. But how do you do that using the command line? You hit cd space 2 dots. And that takes me back. How do you know you're back? If you just hit pwd, it tells you now you're back to what? To use as a studio. The same applies here. If I go back over here, I'm in studio. All right, so let's learn a few more commands. Let's go back to our cd change directory to our desktop. Right now I'm in the desktop, and to confirm that, you can always type pwd. It tells you you're inside desktop. All right, so the next command is, let's try to, you see my terminal is getting very busy now, so many commands, right? And it can keep on going and going. You can just keep enter to enter the next command. Let's try to clear this window. It's kind of getting a bit dirty. To clear this window, all you need to do is just say clear. Click enter. Now I'm working fresh. But that does not mean that your commands are gone. They're actually there, but you just cleared the window. If you scroll up, you see this scroll bar. If you go up, you can see the past commands. But the clear just clear the window. All right, that was our other command. Let me do it again. All right, clear. Clear the window. You have a nice space to work on. So our next command is, we are right inside the desktop. Let's make a new folder. So let me open my desktop here. Let's make a new folder here called, just say test GUI. So this one I've made using my mouse, right? I'm inside the desktop here. And I'm inside the folder here. I can use this finder, or I could even make here. So you see here, let's make another folder, test GUI 2, right? So I've made these two files using my mouse. How can I make those files now using command line? It's easy. All I need to do is typing this command, mkdir. And what that stands for is, it means make directory. Called, I'll just say test command. Click enter. You see, this has been created here very fast. So the same. So that's basically how you create folders using command line. Let me make another folder. Make directory test command 2. Enter. You see, it has been made here, another folder. All right, so that was making directory. Now how do you, another command, let's say, how do you make a new file? So right here, for example, I can just make a new file, any random file, and save it in the desktop here. Let's say, let me open text edit, for example. Now if you make, for example, any new file, I can just say test, this untitled, right? I can just close this and save it on the desktop. I want to save this on the desktop, right? Now this, I'm using GUI, I'm using my mouse. I say test file 1. Save. All right, so I've made this file using desktop. How can I make this file using command line? It's easy. Now the command here that works for both Mac and Windows should be this: echo, then you put this greater than symbol, and then you say okay, test file command 1, for example. That's just the name of the file. It can be anything. .txt. This one, you see, it has been created here. Let me create one more file again. I can just say echo test file 2 dot anything. I can maybe not write a dot. Enter. You see, it's right here. So that's how you make a new file.